There is no scientifically proven benefit for upper cervical manipulation, and the potential risk is devastating. So the question for the patient is this: is a headache worth dying for?
Jennifer Eve.
This guy here, his name is Bill Kinzinger, MD. He's dead now. But let me read you a bit from his obituary. It says he was appointed by Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin to the Oklahoma Board of Medical Licensure and Supervision in July of 2011, where he served as vice president in 2013 and president in 2014. So he's a hot shot. He's like the board president of the, medical group, the AMA group here. I worked on the board president for the chiropractors. Now, I want to read you a little bit as far as mine and his background, because believe me, I have tangled with all of them. Give me a second. This page right here, this is the archive. Chiropractic and OKC MD's warning. That's Bill Kinzinger right there. And I will tell you that he contacted me. I reached out to a Canadian attorney when I found his NEC 911 website. I was looking for an expert to come tell the court, what chiropractor was. He had an axe to grind with the chiropractors. And I'm figuring medical doctor, court will take him as an expert for sure. And he's got a pretty good, grasp on the history of chiropractic, and he understands, the dangers that I'm talking about too. So we talked. I sent him my materials, actually my first show, A Day in the Life, commemorating the life and research of Dr. Earl Franklin Creighton, and some paperwork, supporting the fact that, what they should be teaching. And what they should be teaching is the head's out of place in relation to the atlas. And like I said, if they're moving toward that now, it's because I'm out here. So me and him went back and forth a few times on this blog, and he never did say a word to me, but he had my materials in hand. So anyway, I got sick of the guy, because ultimately it's professional jealousy, and they hold the license. I'm the lay person according to them, and they hold all the power. So what I had to say to him, the very last thing I told him, I said, I'll just read from my, it's this thread further down the page. I'll just read it to you. I said, dare I make one more comment here? I said, Bill, and I'm specifically talking to him. He never did say anything to me. He thanked a chiropractor for defending him when I'm, basically on the attack. But what I said was, the senseless neck twisting you are talking about is only if the chiropractor has not the sense to understand that cracking the neck both ways is not specific in any manner whatsoever. This is what is dangerous, and yes, does cause strokes at times if done too many times or too close together. Is there a scientific basis for that type of treatment? Absolutely not. Except to get some, if the patient is lucky, temporary relief from the stress caused by a true subluxation. True subluxation being the head out of place in relation to the atlas. They're cracking the atlas. That's what's dangerous. Oh, goodness. Of course, when I use the term subluxation, I am not talking about a chiropractic subluxation. You should know by now what I mean, and if you do not, then I welcome your inquiry. As far as the snake oil salesman thing is concerned, I believe that historically it was the medical doctor who was actually guilty of that, tongue-in-cheek. Bill, you should know with your training as a doctor which system of the body controls the rest. So let's just talk about that for a minute. The nervous system controls what? Take the stress off of the nervous system, what do you suppose you will get? Now, you do have to understand that not everybody focuses on those little holes that are between the vertebrae. Was the intervertebral frame and down the spine. They're all looking at that. Imagine this if you can. Too little motion between the head and the atlas, yes, causes too much motion between the atlas and the axis. And this motion is not the normal no motion, but instead an abnormal flexion of the atlas on the axis. This happens because the head is subluxated or partially dislocated in relation to the atlas. Now, what do you suppose happens when the atlas tilts forward as it does when the head is stuck like that? With all your knowledge as a doctor, you should be able to figure that out. Now, where is the DENS located? Are you thinking yet, Bill? What I have just shared with you is not a chiropractic concept. This understanding is exclusively an NSIR concept, nerve signal interference removal. Is this understanding what should be taught in chiropractic and medical colleges alike across the country? Absolutely. Your senseless pride in your institutions and your institutional conditioning is alarming. with the light so clearly shown on the obvious truth that I have just tried to teach you? When will any of you do the right thing? You're like an addict, Bill. The first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. The biggest problem you have at this point is that your argument makes no sense in the light of bigger issues, and your credentials are going to eventually fail you. One day you may actually be asked just why you refuse to refer even one victim of chiropractic, either past or future, to the field, NSIR, nerve signal interference removal, that actually understood how to effectively take the stress off of the nervous system, instead of electing to only degrade the field, chiropractic, that did not understand how to do the same. You're in this for the wrong reason, Bill. That much is clear. Tammy Kennedy, a certified nerve signal interference NSI specialist. And I gave my phone number, 580-402-3375. So yeah, I've tangled with the big boys. I pull no punches, and I ain't scared. And I am the expert, and none of them have anything to say when they realize that they do not have the proper reason for what they're doing. They're trying to control the competition. People are going to have to continue to suffer with people like that in power. And they don't want to recognize the truth, which is simply chiropractic failed, medicine failed, osteopathy failed, even massage failed, and nerve signal interference removal should take the lead in manual therapy. It would change everything as far as how healthcare is delivered. I guarantee you.